Hey, how's it going? Welcome to Newsbreak. My name's Nat. Coming up on the show, the mystery of the Somerton Man, China's first pics from Mars, and celebrating World Bee Day. But before we get started, why don't you hit subscribe? One of Australia's and the world's biggest unsolved mysteries is one step closer to being cracked. The body of an unknown man found on a South Australian beach more than 70 years ago has been dug up by police in the hopes of recovering his DNA and finding out who he really is.
Who is the Somerton Man? It's the question that's eluded detectives and ignited conspiracies for more than 70 years. So let's start at the beginning. In December of 1948, a man's body was found right here at Somerton Beach in Adelaide.
He was found wearing a brown suit with the tags cut out, and apart from a few belongings, there was nothing to identify him. After examining his body, doctors couldn't work out how he died.
I'm stumped.
Then came the note. Months after his death, hidden in a secret pocket, was a slip of paper with Persian words written on it, meaning it is finished. That led to a connection with a book, which led to a telephone number and a scrambled sequence of letters.
It's supposedly a code, but it's one that's never been cracked.
These days, it seems everyone has a theory about his identity, from hiding a secret affair to being a Russian spy. But now, SA police want to finally put those theories to bed. Yesterday, they spent 12 hours digging up his body to recover DNA samples and work out who he is.
The Somerton Man's not just a curiosity or a mystery to be solved, it's somebody's father, son.
It may take months, but the hope is that investigators can finally put a name to this mystery man.
China's released the first pictures taken from its rover on Mars. It first landed on the Red Planet on Saturday. It'll study the planet's surface soil and atmosphere and look for signs of ancient life. China's just the second country to successfully land a rover on Mars and communicate with it. Today is World Bee Day, a day all about celebrating these little creatures and just how important they are for our ecosystem.
Yep, these tiny insects play a huge role in our lives. They're responsible for pollinating about a third of the world's crops. And that's why the United Nations started World Bee Day. It's celebrated on the 20th of May every year. Because on this day, way back in 1734, the pioneer of beekeeping, a guy named Anton Janša, was born. But today isn't about him. It's about the bees. See, in recent years, bees have faced a lot of threats. From things like harmful pesticides to habitat loss, diseases and parasites.
Without any bees, we'd have to probably hand pollinate all our fruits and vegetables, and we probably wouldn't be able to do it for all fruits and vegetables, so we'd lose some of our species.
And then there's honey, which is an industry worth over $100 million to the Aussie economy. And it's very tasty too, of course.
That's delicious.
So there are plenty of reasons to want to protect and help them. And today, lots of schools have decided to get on board with all the buzz.
You know when you think you know what's going on, but then all of a sudden it's like, surprise! We're doing this now. That's what this is about. This is all that's left of an old Italian village that's been left underwater for 71 years. Believe it or not, it was actually flooded deliberately back in 1950 to make a hydroelectric plant. The only reason it's dry now is because they had to drain it for maintenance works, but don't worry, soon enough, this little old town will be going back underwater, where it belongs. Every year, sculptures pop up along Sydney's coastline near Bondi Beach. Often, they're very strange and very colourful, but the folks who run Sculptures by the Sea say it's finally time for Sculptures by the Quay. 18 Japanese sculptures are part of a special display near the rocks. And finally, to South America's biggest lake, which is really not supposed to look like this. Invasive duckweed has spread here like weed, and locals have been working hard to get rid of it. Employing excavators, nets, small children, anyone and everyone who can lends a hand. Well, that's all from us today. We'll see you again tomorrow. Bye for now. Oh, wait, before you go. Nearly forgot. You've got to hit subscribe. Now you can go.